Right now, there are 170 craft breweries across BC, and it's an industry that's had a long history here in British Columbia. And the Royal BC Museum has a wonderful collection from the early days of brewing.
I'm holding here a brass spigot from the Bunster's Brewery.
The brass spigot is from a collection from the province's early breweries.
This is from the 1880s, 1890s. Turner and Beaton was one of the importers of beer into the province. He labels the bottles with his brand, but he also comes with the original Guinness Extra Stout label from Dublin. This is a Stanley Park Brewery ginger beer bottle from the 1890s. When the Silver Spring Brewery came down over in Vic West, a lot of these signs showed up and labels. This is really a fine example of the sign maker's art, which is so important to the brewing industry today.
This cardboard box held a dozen pints of beer.
This is from the Second World War, Victoria Phoenix export lager, which was really, really popular. But the interesting thing about this box is it also says, help the war effort. Open carton carefully and return in good condition. Save the bottles, because bottles are difficult to get.
Special trays were also popular.
This is the Lifesaver, a fireman from Victoria, BC. This was a popular keg label as well, where the fireman appears to identify how many quarts or how many pints were in a cask. This particular example from the Vancouver breweries, not only does it show the product, it also shows the building with a vehicle and people. They're proud of their business. They're participating in parades. They usually have horse-drawn wagons just filled with casks of beer.
Ferguson points out the museum is not just interested in mint condition items.
This is a shard. It's a broken bottle. But what's so important here is this is a Lowen and Herb beer label from one of the local breweries from the 1860s. And it's one of the two earliest items that we have representing breweries.
Ferguson is grateful to those who contact the museum about their collections.
It's amazing what is saved. This is just one tray of beer bottle caps, probably the 1930s, the 1940s, and upwards. A lot of people really care about what happens to these things that they hold, and they want to ensure that their legacy, their family legacy, is passed on. And one of the best ways is to present it to the BC Museum and Archives, where we're going to care for it for multiple generations. It's not just for this lifetime, it's how many more generations will this material be accessible.
This Week in History, brought to you by the Royal BC Museum, bringing British Columbia's stories together.